Welcome to the Bubble Podcast, Season 2, Episode 2, and we're not slowing down. This week we've got more dirty politics, we've got true crime, and because this is Spain and summer waits for no one, we're also going to be discussing verbenas, which personally is my favorite part of the Spanish summer. So, let's go.
This episode is brought to you by bureaucracy.es, a trusted immigration and relocation agency helping people move to Spain with clarity and confidence and peace of mind. You may be relocating as a remote worker, retiring in Spain, taking a career break, or using your savings to live here. No matter your situation, the bureaucracy.es team is here to help you navigate digital nomad visas, non-lucrative visas, residency renewals, and the Spanish bureaucracy, the feared Spanish bureaucracy. You can learn more at www.bureaucracy.es.
All right, let's talk true crime. Because this is a case that has shocked all of Spain and parts of the world too. And we're going to be discussing it today. And we're talking about the murder question of Isak Andic, founder of Mango. So, Ian, I need you to picture this. It's December 2024, the beautiful mountains of Montserrat outside of Barcelona. And Isak Andic, who was a 70-year-old billionaire founder of Mango, he plunges 100 meters down a ravine while on a hike. His son Jonathan is the only person with him at the time, and he says that his father just slipped and fell off a cliff, which is a tragic accident, case closed, so we thought. So a few weeks after the judge closes the investigation because he was satisfied with Jonathan's account, things start getting complicated because the police say that they are noticing some contradictory statements and gray areas in Jonathan's story that didn't really match with the forensic evidence at the site. Fast forward to December 2025, suddenly the investigation starts zeroing in on Jonathan, and then a few weeks ago, Jonathan Andic arrives at a courthouse near Barcelona, handcuffed, and he is flanked by five Mossos de Escuadra, which is
the plot thickens.
The plot definitely thickens. He was bailed out just a few hours ago. He paid €1 million, which is no spare change. And he's now the prime suspect in his dad's murder. This is a story that has it all. And we're pretty sure that we're soon going to be seeing a true crime documentary on Netflix or HBO or whatever. But can you walk us through the most recent events, especially taking into consideration Jonathan's version of the events?
I think the first thing you have to understand about this story is to see it in the context of the Andic family and who they are. And it'll give you a sort of understanding of why this might be a murder, why people think this could be a murder, let's put it that way. And that is that Isak Andic came to Barcelona, came to Spain from Turkey in the late 70s and started selling clothing very modestly in the beginning. I think in 1984 was when he opened his first store. And the chain grew and grew. And in the current day, there's some 3,300 Mango stores around the world. And Isak Andic, at the time of his death, was worth 4.5 billion euros. So, motive.
Right.
Isak Andic had plenty of money, and if someone might want some of that money.
Right.
Second point, Jonathan Andic was briefly put in the sort of starting gate to become CEO in the 2010s, about 10 years ago. And it went really badly. And his father had to step back in a few years later and sort of pushed him aside to be like the vice chairman and run the men's line, but not to run the company. And people say their relationship was never the same. This is obviously a public embarrassment for Jonathan. So that's
Another motive.
Motive number two. All right, so this is the family setup. The son feels poorly treated by father, thinks he could do better, believes he is entitled to this multi-billion-dollar fortune. Once again, this is all allegations. We don't know this to be true, but this is what this is the frame that this happens in.
Right.
Now, what happened a few weeks ago when Jonathan was briefly arrested by the Mossos before he paid his €1 billion bail and was released was they revealed a investigation that showed there were several inconsistencies in his story. One, he said he had been near the Montserrat mountains once, sometime before the hike that he took with his father, but cameras on the road and in sort of low emission zones. I love this is how he might be brought down by
climate change,
by green regulations. Saw his car moving around the Montserrat area 3 times in the weeks before the death of his father, suggesting that once again motive or possibility that he might have been casing out the area. Second, after when he spoke to the police, he told them first that he'd been behind his father, and then said he was in front of his father, another time he said he hadn't seen it, and then once that he heard a grunt and saw him falling. Third, after his father fell, he called his father's phone and his father's girlfriend's phone, and then the police. I mean, you can make an argument that he was checking to see if his father's okay first. So this may be totally nothing, but it to the police sounded like an inconsistency. And then they also the police talked about his phone when the police asked him to hand in his phone after his father's death. He gave them 2 phones, neither of which was the one that was on him at the time. And then later, on a surprise near the time that they announced that it reopened the investigation, he went on a very quick and sudden trip to Quito, Ecuador, where he had the phone that he had with him at the time was stolen. Conveniently. And the police could never find any evidence of that theft.
Even inconvenient.
And then lastly, they found text messages and other messages between Jonathan and others suggesting A, what the judge called an obsession with money, and B, a deteriorating relationship with his father.
And I also heard that there were messages to other people in which he wished his father to die.
That is what they said. They said something like images of death or
yes,
ideas of death.
Yes. So what happens now with the case?
Well, what happens now is that the investigation continues. They appear not to fear that Jonathan will be a flight risk because they left him out on bail. I assume they took away his passport, but even then you can get anywhere in Europe without a passport. The investigation will continue, and if they feel they have enough to pursue the case, he will stand trial. And if he does stand trial, he could face up to 15 years.
15 years?
In jail for murder.
Wow. What is his version of the events? What does he say?
I mean, his version is what it has always been, is that his father slipped and fell. I mean, the police say they checked the area. There was no the way the marks were made in the dirt at the point at which his father fell. It would have been impossible to slip. It looks more like someone pushing or a struggle.
Right, and there's also no evidence that he tried to
stop himself. There's no sort of
nothing in the hands or the
on
fingers under his name. Yeah. So it's looking pretty bad for him.
I mean, but it is circumstantial evidence. I mean, there is always the question that if it's hard to prove a case on this, and if he doesn't confess, obviously innocent until proven guilty, et cetera, et cetera. It might be rather. I mean, you're operating on whether there's enough circumstantial evidence to convince a jury.
Well, we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. In the meantime, Jonathan and his 2 sisters own 95% of the empire, valued at $4.5 billion, with the other 5% being in the hands of a guy named Tony Ruiz, I believe, who is the CEO of Mango and who is actually the one who runs the family empire. Isak Andic was very smart in this, and he found someone who was a really good manager to run the thing while his kids didn't have to.
Well, whatever news comes out of this case, we'll be covering it in the newsletter. So stay tuned on thebubble.com for more information.
And I shouldn't say this, but we're both working on competing, screenplays for the Netflix show about this, one fiction and one documentary. That's actually not true.
But it could be.
But it
I'm
could
sure
be.
someone is.
It would be no surprise.
I'm sure someone is.
Summer is in full swing in Spain. If you're not melting outside, you probably have some plans. And if you spend your time on TikTok and Instagram like we do, like you probably imagine summer in Spain.
I mean,
like
you do more TikTok than
going to Ibiza, like the clubs, Formentera, being like very like Euro summer chic, right? That's not summer in Spain, is it? Like
who can afford that?
our summer is very different.
We
Like,
cannot afford partying in Ibiza.
we don't have the wage, we don't have the age, we don't have the energy to do any of that. But we do have the age, wage, and some energy to do some free plans. So we're going to share some tips for people planning their summers in Spain so they can vacation like true Spaniards, going to fiestas de pueblo, going to verbenas.
My favorite.
Enjoying free stuff in summer. What's more Spanish than enjoying free stuff?
Sitting
in
outside
summer, right?
with the grandmothers.
Yeah, like just like
Tomando el fresco.
putting your chair outside the
The
house
plastic chair.
in your pueblo. Just like gossip.
I can't wait.
Goals.
Can't wait to be that age. I'm not that far.
Nearly there.
I
mean,
get to make
for
those
both
trips.
of us. For both of us.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna be talking first about verbenas, which personally are my favorite activity
We know.
during the summer.
We know. I mean, if you're in Madrid during the months of July, August, you've probably seen Adrián in one of these verbenas.
That's very true. Or in Mallorca.
Or in Mallorca. It's
You
kind of like you go to
probably-
El Prado, you go see statue of Cibeles, and then you go see Adrián dancing Paquito Chocolatero in San Cayetano.
That is very true. But there's people listening to us who have no idea what a verbena is.
What is a verbena?
So let me just make a quick introduction about what verbenas are. And this is, again, to me, the perfect plan of what to do this summer. Not for free, but like spending
Almost.
very little. So for those of you who do not know, verbenas are a street party with music that is usually held at night in the middle of the summer. Many times it's done to honor the patron saint of a small town or a city
Or neighborhood?
or neighborhood. And sometimes, and this doesn't happen in Madrid, but in the small towns it does sometimes, there's an amusement park with it. So
Yes.
there's kind of like a Ferris wheel and, you know, one of those inflatable games that like children go to that usually end up
it
getting hurt.
happens in Madrid during San Isidro.
Oh, right. In San Isidro.
could be
Yes,
considered
that is true. That is true.
Verbena in a way.
That is true. I was thinking of the Verbena de la Paloma, which is
Yeah,
basically
over
drunk
yeah, yeah.
people like, you know, stumbling into.
Yeah, which is
Each
basically like an attraction.
Yes,
Anyway.
that is part of the attraction. Yes. And then there's also sideshow attractions and traditional dancing. In Madrid, you will see people dancing the chotis. There's also food stands with tons of chuches, churros, cheese, manchego
Chorizo.
cheese, chorizo,
Panceta,
panceta.
bocadillo de lomo. I'm just like, I could
I am
continue like for
I am
hours.
salivating
I
right
love verbenas food.
Then there's the candy apples, the
I don't care
typical.
about that, yeah.
There's all sorts of junk food, and then of course there's alcohol. There's wine. There's beer. There's tinto de verano. There's the classic gin and tonic in a plastic this
Yeah.
very cheap plastic cup.
Which I hate.
Do you?
I mean,
I don't remember you hating that.
okay, well, first of all, wow. Secondly, the thing is that they're getting creative with cocktails during verbenas. Like, that's not the point. Like, you shouldn't go to a verbena to order a mojito, right?
No,
Like,
you're not going to a
go
cocktail
get
bar.
like tinto de verano, maybe a beer.
Yeah.
If you want to like be wild and experimental, maybe sangria. But like you don't order like a caipirinha in
No.
San Lorenzo.
The cheapest
Yeah.
and the less sophisticated, the better.
And the easiest. Because honestly, It's made in the street.
And it's hot.
Yeah.
You just want to be dancing with your friends, and you want to be drinking something that's cold.
And not
Right.
with a lot of sugar.
And not with a lot of sugar. Correct. So there's, going back to the verbenas, they come in all sizes. There's big, there's small. There are verbenas in downtown Madrid and La Latina, which are very popular in August. And then you have the verbenas in the small towns in the middle of nowhere in Spain, which I have to admit, personally, they're my favorite.
They're really fun. Like fiestas de pueblo, like honestly. And like big cities have it, like they have like La Semana Grande in Bilbao. Like obviously they're massive, but even like smaller cities, Ciudad Real, where I'm from, shout out to La Mancha. It also has La Pandorga, which is like a very massive popular celebration. People throwing wine to each other. You have like La Tomatina. You have San Fermin is not considered a verbena, obviously, but it's like the celebrations of the city as well. And they all have this like shared spirit, I think, which makes verbenas very different to any other block parties or celebrations around the world. Like to me, regardless of where the fiesta is taking place,
usually it's a town
country.
square, right? Usually it's a town square.
It is. And like there's always like some shared component, like live music. You always have like La Orquesta del Pueblo, right? Like with like 4 people in very questionable dresses with sequins, dancing the hits of the summer.
Or the rock
classics.
band. The rock band too.
Playing a little bit later for the boomers and the Gen Z. I mean, it's a whole experience. Like, if you're in Spain this summer, trust a local.
You know what
to a fiesta de pueblo.
You know what I really like about the verbenas, and you can tell me if you agree with me or not. But to me, obviously, they remind me of when I was a kid and I would go to the verbenas in Mallorca, right? But there's also this component of spontaneity that to me feels very kind of like anachronistic to the times that we're living in. I feel that this is something from the 80s. And every time that I go to one of those parties in a small town, and you're in the town square, and you're hanging out with like, you know, the grandparents and the kids, you come across a party at every corner, and people are almost like, they're not on their phones. You know what I mean? It's like this sort of collective party that everyone just participates in. And that's something that you don't get to see these days.
Yeah, I agree. And I think they have something that Spain does very well, which is it brings people from different generations together to celebrate. So you go to Fiesta de Pueblo or to a verbena, and you see the grandmas who are there with their grandkids while they're in the amusement park, which feels like probably all the attractions are from the 80s anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
It is true.
Yeah.
But you also have the group of teenagers that are like maybe like going to drink before they go out and dance. And you also have the parents who are going to the dance in the main square. They all hang together, and it's one of those rare occasions where like everyone is mixed. Like you have like rich people, working class people, they all mingle, and it feels like there's a shared spirit of celebration. And again, many of these festivities come from celebrating the patron saint of the city or the town. Even if you're not religious, you enjoy the celebrations. It's part of your local or regional identity, I would say.
Yeah. But there's also this sort of like small town intimacy, right? You feel like you know everyone, and maybe you don't, but it kind of feels like you're at the same party that these people are, and you kind of feel related to them.
Yeah.
So this is why I love these parties. It's kind of like they're still able to survive because there's something that they're doing, something that modern life is not doing it, and they're kind of like, they're unfiltered. You know what I mean? There's this sort of like offline community. And there's as you said, there's this mix of social classes and all ages. There's grandparents, their children. They're not curated. They're not perfect. They are loud. They're sweaty. They're dirty. They're like chaotic. And there's no algorithm involved, right? There's no aesthetic, right? It's just
Yeah,
very, very
there is
dirty.
definitely like a verbena aesthetic, but it's not posed. It's
Right,
not
and it's-
artificially curated. You know,
Exactly, yeah.
it comes naturally, and I feel like somehow they are our like homecoming. You know, like it's when like people who live in the big city, they're coming back to their towns. They are connecting, like reconnecting with people they were friends with during high school. A lot of gossip involved. You know, like it's
Oh,
great
yeah.
if you love gossiping as we do. But by the way, like verbenas are not the only thing that you can do over the summer in Spain that are not that expensive. What are other plans that you enjoy doing in Madrid or elsewhere that don't involve paying 20 euros for a cocktail?
Well, that's kind of like, it's a complicated question for me because I'm from Mallorca. So I usually just go to Mallorca for the summer and just stay there and go to the beach.
Cue the White Lotus
That's,
theme right now.
yeah, exactly. Yes. Mallorca in the summer, it's kind of a nightmare because just so many people, everything is crowded. We're actually dealing with mass tourism right now. So my summers are usually very kind of like repetitive. Every year I tend to do the same thing unless I just travel around Spain. But there are just so many things that I love to do and that I still haven't done, right? For example, the Costa del Sol. I really want to go to Cadiz,
It's beautiful.
which
It's
is
one
beautiful
of the most
in the
beautiful
summer.
places in Europe.
Um,
And the oldest
and
city.
yes,
in
it's one of the oldest cities in Europe as well. You know what I've heard is really nice in the summer when I've never been is the north. So like Cantabria, Galicia, El País Vasco,
Asturias.
Asturias. So that's another thing that is on my to-do list of because I've never had the chance to go, and it sounds incredibly beautiful and fun.
It's amazing. And even if you don't travel, because like summer in Spain is great if you're traveling, but also if you stay in your city, there are like so many things people can do. Like usually they're like open air cinemas. You have like local like municipal swimming pools where like maybe you pay 2 euros and you spend a day, like you escape from the heat. Like there are like so many things that are for free or almost free that you can do in this country. I really like that. It's also like a way of like surviving in the city because
Yeah.
like not everyone can go to the beach.
No, I have to say the swimming pools in Madrid are
They're really good.
very good.
I mean, they get very crowded.
Right, but
it,
you know,
again,
it's your little oasis in the
Yeah,
middle of the
yeah,
city,
it's
so it's not a bad deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
should we do a rapid fire test
Yes, but-
about life in the summer?
It's time for me to get back at you because of what you did to me in the last episode with this rapid fire about football and the World Cup and whatever.
Did you have a lot of backlash?
Sure, yeah. A lot of people were making fun of me, bullying me. I felt like a
Well,
teenager again.
Educate yourself.
Thank you for triggering. So you have to be quick to respond and you have to say what you prefer.
Okay.
Okay? No time to think. Beach or municipal swimming pool?
Beach.
Bitch?
Yes. And municipal pools as well.
Don't
make
call
me-
me a bitch.
Don't make me repeat it.
Do not call me a bitch.
Well, you understand. That's why subtitles are for.
yes, that is.
Exactly.
This is going.
Anyway, I love going to the coast.
This is going
Okay.
to Instagram, by the way.
I love going to the sea.
That's not what I asked.
other
Chiringuito
sea-
or village festival?
Oh, village festivals, because you have chiringuitos. You have the best of everything you can find at a chiringuito. You
What?
can find. Yeah. I mean, why would you prefer a chiringuito? Because it's next to the beach?
Yes. Chiringuitos are great.
Well, I'm a huge supporter of local village celebrations.
I feel that this is going to affect our friendship from now on. Next, tinto de verano or a caña?
Oh, tinto de verano.
I agree with that. Even though there's lots of sugar, though.
With
But-
casera or with
seem su-
gaseosa.
you seem
or
surprised.
lemon.
No! You cannot name brands
Oh, but
unless they're
maybe
paying
they
us.
will sponsor us. With casera, beautiful, amazing, refreshing casera, or with Fanta de limon. I'm a huge fan of gaseosa.
Please sponsor us.
Any brands of gaseosa.
Next, churros or ice cream?
Ugh. I love
You're on a
ice,
diet.
I love ice cream. Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna break my diet, I'd rather do it with
Yeah,
ice
I
cream.
think that ship has sailed already.
Turron ice cream, it's the best.
Yes, that is great.
And do you find it elsewhere, like outside of Spain?
No, I never heard that before.
Yeah, you can get like almond ice cream,
Yeah.
but it's not the same.
Right.
Yeah. Turron.
Or burnt coconut, like that time in New York, remember?
Oh, remember? Yeah.
Next, Cádiz or Costa Brava?
I've never been to Costa Brava, and I love Cádiz, so I will say Cádiz just because I don't know.
Summer romance or summer siesta?
I don't believe in romance anymore, but I do believe in siestas so much. So I would say summer siestas.
Do you hear this sound? It's the sound of the tiniest violin in the world.
Exactly. Playing when I take a nap.
Open air cinema or outdoor concert?
Open air cinema,
Yes.
just as my knees are not very good at this point. And open air concerts are.
Fairground bumper cars. Wait, what?
Oh, yes. Coches de choque.
Or the pirate ship ride.
I love the pirate ship.
But lots of people vomit there.
Yeah, I don't have that problem. I don't care. Like, just like
No, I don't think you're the
No, I
problem.
mean, just
Someone else is the problem.
be
Vomiting on you.
aware.
That's what I mean.
be aware of where you pick your seat, right?
How do you know who's gonna vomit?
Oh, you know.
No, when it
Yes.
goes like this, like people will.
You just
vomit in
know,
front-
like, there are like some people that get
That's
in and like you see their faces and
yeah. That sounds
you know
that
it's
sounds
gonna
like fake
happen.
news. Paella or barbecue? Oh, come on.
Paella.
Really?
Yeah, by the sea.
You hesitated there.
Well, because I love barbecue.
Yeah, but paella is
Careful.
paella.
Yeah, but like barbecue involves chuletas, it involves chorizo. It's like a whole new world.
Again, that sounds like fake news. Marcos Llorente is not gonna like this one. Beach towel or sun umbrella?
Oh, beach towel. Go, Marco Llorente.
What?
I'm not endorsing his questionable
No,
practices.
what he's talking about is
It's-
beach towel while
Yeah,
applying
exactly like
tons
50,
of sunscreen.
50
Well,
FP.
I guess I don't need that one. Feria de Pueblo or music festival?
Feria de Pueblo. Music festivals have like too much mud and sleeping in tents.
Fireworks or live music?
Fireworks.
Apartment with AC or house with a pool?
House with a pool.
You're nuts. Are you a psychopath?
Why? Like
You
usually,
can go to the beach. How do you sleep without AC?
I mean, the thing is that if I have a pool, I'm assuming the house was built for heat weather, like for hot weather.
Yeah, but you're not gonna sleep inside of the pool.
Well, don't tell me what to do.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Okay, I think that we've hit our limit.
It's enough.
We need to finish this episode. So, Nacho, as usual, it has not been a pleasure. Before we go, I'd like to remind all of our listeners to please go to thebubble.com because every week, on every Friday, we have a guide on what to do in Madrid this weekend. So if you don't know what to do because you are stuck in the city, it's very hot, and I know that because I will be here. Fret not. We're going to give you a very long list of things that you can do to try to, make some sort of better experience as you spent
Including
August
verbenas.
in the city. Get ready. It's going to be hot, but we'll try to help.
Joining us today from bureaucracy.es is Ana Agudo, immigration advisor. It's basically the person you want in your corner if you're thinking about moving to Spain. She's had a front row seat and a starring role in the boom of foreign residents arriving in Madrid and beyond. And she's here to help us figure out how to make that move as painless as possible. Ana, welcome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the welcome.
Thank you for being here. Anna, I have a question for you. So we all know, I think we've all been in this situation. Moving to another country can be sometimes really hard, right? It's complicated enough that you could honestly make a horror movie about it. But that doesn't have to be the way, right? Let's just start with this. What do you think are the top 3 mistakes that people make when they move to Spain, and how would you suggest that they avoid them?
Top 3, well, I think we could make a list of like top 10 mistakes. Yeah, very common.
You can come another day. Yes.
Well, invite me. First thing, I would surely say not knowing what you're applying for. People basically, they want to apply to Spain. They want to have a visa, but they have no idea about how it works. They come with a lot of expectations, and they have no idea about, for example, which kind of visa they should fit.
So there's no research, basically.
Basically. Although I have a lot of WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups and Reddit groups, many people are also very badly informed. So there's also a problem. Sometimes we have people that they have a lot of information, but wrong information. So this comes to be a problem for us.
Right.
Many people, they want, for example, they want to arrive here with a non-lucrative visa, and then they change for a digital nomad visa. And this is their fixed idea. They do not want to stop working. They want to apply like they want without meeting the correct criteria. This is something that needs some correction, because people without the right guidance, without actually looking for what they have, what they can fit, because of course, not everyone can fit, unfortunately.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So mistake number 1, no research. What would be mistake number 2? I mean, I've made countless mistakes when moving to a different country, so I'm sure that you can find some too.
Yes, actually, not providing perhaps the correct documentation that you need. People are very confused about what is an authorization, what is an apostille. People don't have those knowledges. People, for example, they want to make apostilles and they don't know how it is. If we apply, for example, from Middle East, then we need legalization. This is a whole complete different story. And the same thing goes, for example, in the case of W-2 employees. They want certificate of coverage, and they have no idea how to get this, how to apostille. This is something that also creates a lot of problems for everyone. The correct translators, people select any kind of translator that they know or that they look for on the internet, but this has to be certified by Spain. So not everyone is veiled. Not everything is worth paying for.
I was going to suggest one error or difficulty I've heard of a lot is people not understanding the time frames that it takes, that they think they can apply and be in 30 days or 15 days or something like that, when in fact getting a visa has a lot of steps that are chained one after the other and take time.
That's true. That happens a lot. Especially, for example, we have a lot of clients that they already have their plane tickets bought and they have the documents.
Ouch.
Or, for example, they just applied, they just left the documents in the consulate for a non-lucrative visa and they already coming to Spain. Like, you don't have, they don't even have a passport. How can you come to Spain? I don't understand why they have this kind of plannings, as if this was super easy, but you're changing your whole life. This is not easy enough. You're leaving everything behind for 1 year, for 3, or even for life if you're waiting for nationality or permanent residency.
Right. I think that people maybe just are so anxious to start their new life that we're overly optimistic about what that's going to be. And we're just like, I'm just going to go there and start my life and I'm sure everything's going to be okay. And then as it turns out, it's not okay.
I also
Getting
think
deported in like 30 days.
We've been trained by DoorDash also that I'll have that in 20 minutes, right?
Yes.
And you won't.
I agree. I agree completely.
All right. I'm going to move on to something more specific. That is, for years, the go-to option, if you will, for visas was the non-lucrative visa, which is not the most inspiring name for a visa since people like to think of their lives as lucrative. But moving on from that, but it worked. Now, then about a year or two ago, the digital nomad visa became very trendy. People wanted to be digital nomads, live abroad. They thought it had good tax treatments, et cetera, et cetera. But in reality, who's each one actually for? And how do you figure out which path is your path to come to Spain?
Well, there is a big difference in those two kind of visas. There is something that one cannot work if the person wants the other. Work. How's your situation? Do you want to be here in Spain working? Then you cannot apply for a non-lucrative visa. And then you have to be here on a digital nomad visa. And not only this, but not everyone can be a digital nomad. So, of course, we were having many discussions on Neuge, for example, for W-2, sometimes it's accepted, sometimes not. But the reality is work. For a non-lucrative visa, you cannot be working. You cannot be here. You cannot be planning to work, not even desiring to have any kind of change, because this is not going to be allowed. So you have to have in mind that for a non-lucrative visa, minimum 5 years you're going to be here without working if you aim for long term.
That's minimum.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Although people in the past, I gather a lot of people just came and continued working as they were and didn't tell anyone.
That's not recommended, though.
No, it's not recommended.
We're definitely
When I believe it was
not
done. I'm saying it was
advocating for that.
No, don't do this at home.
Don't do this at home.
Mm-mm.
I have one final question, Anna, and this is taking into consideration the large influx of foreigners that Spain has seen in the last few years. People from the United States, from Latin America, from other countries in Europe, digital nomads that come and go. Would you say that Spain in 2026 is still very much a country that's worth coming to if you want to be a part of this experience?
Yes, it is. I always ask my clients, for example, why? Why do you want to move to Spain? Like, let me know.
Yeah.
What do you like here? Why do you want to be here? And I have many answers. Because of the climate here. Oh, if I want to live in the mountains, then I can have a mountain climb. If I want to be by the beach, then I can go to Malaga. I can watch the Costa del Sol. If I want to be more in the center, if I want to have basically it all, I can go to Valencia. So here we have a lot of things. And also, security. I hear this a lot. A lot of people tell me, oh, I want my kids, I want my family to grow up in the safest place, have access to more education, more culture, people speaking multiple languages. This is great, and this is it.
Yeah.
And also the culture, the Spanish culture. It's like a street culture. I mean, you have life. You work to live. You don't live to work. This is a classical phrase, and this is true. This is true here. That's
Absolutely.
the reason.
I totally agree. And sometimes, as a Spaniard, sometimes I feel that we don't appreciate enough what we have in this country. We love to complain so much about so many things, which some of them are very true, but some others, when you understand how so many other people are living in many other places in the world, I think that it's worth stopping and appreciating what we have.
I would also point out that Spaniards complain very well.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
they've
do.
got skills.
We're very good complainers.
Yeah.
About everything.
But I think that that appreciating what we have is something that we should.
Is there
we're
undervalued
definitely
here? Yeah.
we're definitely privileged in many other things that we have here in this country.
It's true.
Anna,
Thank you
thank
very
you so much for joining us.
For taking the time
We look
to
forward
join us.
we look forward to having you again. I'm so sad that we had to say goodbye again.
I'm not. I won't miss you.
I'm very depressed. I will miss our audience, not you.
Yeah, same.
Thank you, everybody who tuned in. Remember to go to thebubble.com and subscribe to our newsletter if you have not done so yet. We cover politics, economy, social issues, and tons of other things about pop culture.
Follow us on social. We are at thebubble.com on Instagram.
You don't even know them.
I forgot for a moment, like too many
Jesus
pintos
Christ.
I know this summer, okay? Like my brain is paying the price. Anyway, just find us on socials. Just search for The Bubble. We'll be there.
It's the at thebubble.com.
I know. That's what I said. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please share, comment, like, do whatever you want. Just like help us be here for another week in a few days.
Thank you.